Welcome everyone to today's rant. Why do the post-trilogy Pirates of the Caribbean movies suck? To me, this answer is pretty simple. The last two just weren't true to the saga. But for you non-believers out there, I'm going to go into a little more depth. And naturally, this video will contain a number of spoilers, so viewer beware. You may miss out on some of the cinematic magic if you've not already seen them. Disney's famed pirate saga set sail in 2003 under the command of Gore Verbinski, among a few others, when he was hired to direct a film based on the Disney World ride Pirates of the Caribbean. Although the ride didn't really tell a story, it showed the chaotic yet simple nature of how society views pirates. But enough about the ride. Let's get into what this video is all about. Why movies 1 through 3 are amazing, and why the 4th is horrible, while the 5th is acceptable. At the prow, we've got Curse of the Black Pearl. This movie was a great setup that came out at a time where there were no real pirate-related cinema, and it quickly became the first thing to come to mind for many when hearing the word pirate. Based on one of the most notorious seafaring tales, it focuses on the legends of ghost ships. What really makes this movie great is its balance of action, humor, and romance.
You have become a fine woman, Elizabeth.
I can't breathe.
Yes, I'm a bit nervous myself.
The main character, Jack Sparrow, being a mad genius of a pirate who is full of luck. Even when he seems down on his luck, he always comes out on top. Losing his ship? Great, no curse to worry about. Stuck in prison? No problem. Loverboy wants to chase down your ship and get his crush back. On the surface, Jack to the random passerby would seem like your run-of-the-mill drunken pirate, and a captain to avoid.
You are without doubt the worst pirate I've ever heard of.
But you have heard of me.
But to the audience, and his repeated antagonists, he may just be the best pirate you've ever seen.
That's got to be the best pirate I've ever seen.
So it would seem.
The second movie is all about the one tale more famous than ghost ships, Davy Jones. This sailor's legend of the ferryman of the afterlife focuses on Davy and his corruption. Jack had made a deal with him in the past to raise the Black Pearl from the depths so he may become its captain. Now, it was time for Jack to pay his dues.
He raised the pearl from the depths for you. 13 years you've been a captain.
Technically.
Jack, you won't be able to talk yourself out of this. The terms would apply to me, apply to you as well. One soul, bound to crew 100 years upon a ship.
Yes, but the Flying Dutchman already has a captain, so there's
Well,
really...
then it's a locker for you.
The third movie, and what was planned as the last, was to tell the tale of pirates against the New World and its attempt to put an end to piracy. Jack, also fearing his own mortality, begins to consider the option of taking over the Dutchman by stabbing Jones' heart and becoming the eternal ferryman of the afterlife.
What? Hey?
Stab the heart. Don't stab the heart.
Come again?
The Dutchman must have a captain. Well, that's even more than less than unhelpful. Sail the seas for eternity. I love the sea.
In the end, he makes the decision to take the high road and sacrifice this chance to save the life of one of his only friends, Will. Thus far, the movies have been well thought out, flowed with solid continuity, and were true to the style and the feel of the first movie. But this all goes out the window in the fourth movie. What went wrong with the fourth movie? This depends on your perspective. The first mistake was rebooting the trilogy against the desires of the director of the first three. Gore signed on for 3 movies and had summed up his story with the perfect ending to the saga. Disney decided to go over him and hire a new director to create the 4th installment, On Stranger Tides. This was based on a book of the same name from the 1980s by Tim Powers. The book was a big hit and came in second place for the best novel of the year. This all sounds good until you realize it didn't really fit in with the style of the first 3 movies, and the new directors had a different vision than Gore on how the world of Pirates of the Caribbean worked. Objectively speaking, this movie would have been great as a standalone film unrelated to the pirates we know and love, but Disney, in its great wisdom, decided the movie would make more money if shoehorned in as this new edition, in which they'd be correct as it set some box office records reaching over $1 billion. This was the 4th Disney movie at the time to make this achievement. Why was this film a failure? The answer is simple. It wasn't original to the Pirates of the Caribbean name. Jack no longer the mad genius we know and love. He's a drunken fool of a side character, there for nostalgia and comedic relief. Jack's plans have conformed into fantastic luck without any skill or ingenuity, whereas in the previous films his plans are founded on a bit of genius planning with a pinch of luck sprinkled in. Jack is also no longer the center of attention. In the first film, it's Jack versus the ghost ship, and him trying to get his ship back for himself. The second film being Jack vs. Davy Jones, with Jack fighting for his freedom. The third film is Jack adapting to the new world and facing his mortality and the longevity of his profession. As for the fourth movie is about a prostitute in search of a sugar daddy of sorts.
From my father. I am truly the daughter of Blackbeard.
You've fallen for your own con, Ralph.
No, he is my father. The lies I told you were not lies. Wait! I am with child. Yours.
I don't recall that we ever had...
You were drunk!
I've actually never been that drunk.
A romance between a missionary in love with a mermaid and the legendary Blackbeard, who is suddenly magical, unlike his actual real-life legend as just being a crazy, ruthless pirate, who, in the movie, wants to beat the Spanish to the Fountain of Youth to gain immortality, at his supposed daughter's expense. Now, where is Jack in all this? He's trying to get his ship out of a bottle in Blackbeard's closet because it apparently sank in between the third and fourth installments. Now, I'm not alone in thinking this movie was a dump. Rotten Tomatoes gave it a whopping 33%, and the first film to get an audience score under 72%, hitting a lowly 54%. Ouch. The fifth installment was a huge improvement from the fourth. Although they went back to a more true to the original theme with a combination of the legend of the Devil's Triangles and the Pirate Hunters, Jack still started off as not himself. He starts off as, again, a fantastical comedic fool attempting a bank heist and failing with magnificent success. He then loses his remaining crew and, desperate for a drink, gives up his compass. This unleashes a curse that summons his greatest fear. In this case, a pirate hunter he outsmarts in his youth. Hold on there, just a second. If this curse was a canonical thing, how on earth was Jack not plagued by it sooner? Half the second and third movies was Jack passing around his compass so that others could do his bidding for him. That aside, Jack is still more of a side character, but at least this film had more of a classic feel of the villain following an actual legend story the way it's been passed down throughout the ages. If you guys agree, disagree, or have anything to add to this debate, I'd love to see your thoughts down in the comments. Until next time, my fellow landlovers.